What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Woogity Bros podcast, where we're here to talk about sports, athletics, and whatever the fuck we want to talk about. Yeah, I'm Steve. For right now, I'm the host. Then to my left, you got John Sheridan. To my right,
What
you've
up?
got
What up?
Joe Walkham,
Joe, nigga.
Joe N-word. All right. Uh, let's kick this thing off, man. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, fellas? The
Uh,
inaugural, the inaugural podcast. Oh my goodness, we're
right?
finally here.
Getting it going. We've been talking shit for too long, and
Yeah, it's been
finally,
like
we're
it's been like
Finally
over a
recording
year
it.
of talking about this. A
yep,
year of texting about this in our group chat, saying we should just turn this into the conversation and share it with the world.
yep,
Now we here.
Now everybody's gonna hear our stupid fucking thoughts.
yep. Everyone gets to listen to these three idiots spout their views on sports.
Yep.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Ah, Marshawn, all right.
Yes, sir.
Literally,
All right, man.
we can kick this thing off.
Hey, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So we're gonna talk about Paul Pierce recently. He had some interesting comments again about how he thinks that he is better than Dwayne Wade. What was the quote that he had earlier on today, John?
He said that if you stick him with Bosch and LeBron, you can't tell him that he ain't winning a couple championships. Which is fair to say. I mean, come on now.
I mean,
That would be a beast of a team.
that's true. I mean, KG isn't LeBron, but he's still KG. He had KG and Ray Allen.
KG was a little bit out of his prime though. After that, like second year, because the second year that he tore his meniscus.
Yeah,
Remember,
true.
missed a bunch of time.
That's true. He did win Defensive Player of the Year in
The
2000.
first year,
Yeah.
yeah, he
So
was
if we're
slipping though.
so if we're talking Paul Pierce on that Heat team without D Wade, which season? Because I think that plays a role. Because if you're talking about the season where Ray Allen won it for them, like
That was
Ray
the
Allen's
first
clutch,
one.
Ray Allen's clutch shot changes everything. And if you have Pierce there, do you have Ray?
That was the first championship season. Um,
Was it?
yeah, I think that was their first championship season.
Nah, that was against the Spurs. They won against the Thunder. That was their first one
Oh, yeah, you're
in
right.
their second year.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
that was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know.
let's just start it from there. 2012. You put Pierce on that team. And no D Wade.
That's
Tough.
that's tough because I mean at that point you're talking about shifting having to shift the entire gameplay of Paul Pierce and LeBron because now you got LeBron either at the three, but then where are you going to run Pierce at the two essentially?
Yeah. I mean, he did that early in his career.
LeBron could
Right,
play 1 through 4. I mean,
but on that lineup, I
Yeah.
mean, LeBron was really a three. That was one of the last times LeBron was like a true small forward in this league.
That's true. Because you had Chalmers at the point.
Right. You had
Yep.
Mario, then you go right into D Wade, LeBron at the
Yep.
three, Bosch at the four, and
And
who
then
they
they
have
ran
at
a
the
big.
five. Yeah.
just rotate
Right.
Joel
tattooed
Joel
dudes.
something.
Joel Anthony, you had him for a while.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Anthony,
Yeah. So, I mean, you're asking Paul now to change his gameplay, but you're also
He could have done that.
you're either flexing Bosch to the five and just going big, well, small really and quick.
Mm.
Mario, D Wade, Pierce, Braun, Bosch, or you're putting Mario on the bench, have a D Wade essentially run point, shifting Paul to 2, LeBron at the 3, still keeping, Joel Anthony at 5, and then Bosh at 4. Either way, that's risky business at that point. Now, if Paul's not, we're talking about an older Paul. You gotta think, but when Paul got the like when he got Ray Allen and KG in 07, that was because his clock was ticking as far as his prime years. So you fast forward another 3-4 years, 5 years later, and that, you know what I mean? Now you're putting him in Miami. That's a completely different Paul Pierce. That's the Brooklyn Nets Paul Pierce.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not the Brooklyn Nets Paul Pierce.
But that's the version you're getting.
But maybe the last year Celtics, year before Celtics, I'd take Paul Pierce. I mean, to be fair, when D Wade was on Miami with LeBron, his role was limited. You have LeBron there. With Paul
but
Pierce
LeBron deferred. He deferred so much. I'm sorry, he deferred a lot.
Yeah,
because he could.
I mean, he shouldn't have. I mean, he learned that after he won. He needed to stop deferring and just actually take the ball to the hole. That was let me put my head down and just lower my shoulder to the hoop type of basketball that he used to win.
So let me do this. Let me flip the script on you. You think D-Wade's winning a championship 07-08 if you switch him with Paul?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Paul Pierce's defense, it was way better than D-Wade's. He could D up LeBron. You had no one really that could D up LeBron. I mean, maybe Tony Allen. But
I just don't think the fit would be right with Ray Allen, KG. I don't know. That's a weird. At that time, and that's a little weird. Paul Pierce is a lot better shooter than D Wade was.
Right, but D Wade was taking it to the bucket in those years. D Wade was taking it to the bucket.
So was Paul.
So let's count.
He was still throwing down on motherfuckers.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know.
I go back to defense.
That's tough. That's tough to say.
I go back to defense.
I think you do that, and I think they can get to the finals. They can get to the finals, but I don't think D Wade wins a championship against LA. I don't think D Wade's version of the Celtics couldn't beat LA because I think truly the difference maker in the matchups was the personal rivalry and friendship of Paul Pierce and Kobe Bryant. Nobody studied more about one another when it came to those situations than Paul and Kobe. They were a true battle.
Has D Wade ever hit a big shot in the playoff?
Yeah, bro. He eliminated the Hornets in his rookie year with that floater.
Yeah, that's right.
He made a name for himself real quick.
Yeah.
That's right. I keep in my mind, I keep going back to that 3-point shot that he hit, where he was running full steam and jumped from the 3-point line to the top of the key, and then floated a 3-pointer for the win.
He was crafty as a motherfucker, bro.
Right?
Those are the days.
I mean, both of them are all-time players, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
All-time. Top 50, both of them.
Yeah, and it's sad right now that Paul doesn't get the respect he deserves.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he talks such a big game of himself. He almost clowns himself sometimes. But I don't blame him for having that high of an opinion on him. He's a champion.
Yeah, man. Came close to being a 2-time champion.
Yeah.
He was minutes away from it.
I think it depends on who you're having the conversation with, though, as far as if Paul Pierce is getting the respect he deserves. If you talk about
nationwide,
but I still feel it depends on what demographic, what generation you're talking to. If you're talking to 20 something anybody like young millennials and Gen Z, they're going to tell you he was trash because they didn't grow up watching it. So they didn't see prime. When they think of Paul Pierce, they think of like the Washington Wizards Paul Pierce, who have a couple good moments here and there. The Brooklyn Nets Paul Pierce, maybe, who was like on his way, like declining. Clippers Paul Pierce. It's like what?
He went to so many fucking teams.
Right. So it's just like that different mindset with like what you see is what you're basing your opinion on without going further back into the archives and seeing kind of like what was going on back in the day, like in their prime. I feel like it skews the perspective in those arguments.
That's like when stupid motherfuckers say that LeBron's better than Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
That's always a funny one.
Yeah. A lot of that becomes the reference about age. Like, look at what Jordan did at age 38, what Braun did. But what a lot of people don't consider is the fact that, like, yeah, but before that, like, Jordan was out of the game for a while. He was,
he retired.
In the front of, but he was
baseball.
He retired, played baseball, come back, retired again, then gone into the front office. And then was like, shit, like I missed the game of ball. I'm old, but I still got some in the tank. Let me go back. And he went back with the Wizards, like, cool.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different than a guy who's like maintained it. And I give Braun credit for that. Like he's maintained for the most part, but I think that you look at the last 5 years and I don't look at LeBron the same. I think he's falling into that category with like the Kawhi Leonards and the Paul Georges where it's all this maintenance and all this and that. Making up excuses like, oh, I was injured. Okay, well, why are we not talking about it when you're injured? Why are we waiting until you're eliminated from the playoffs to tell me that your foot's been hurt for the past 6 months?
Excuses.
You know what I mean?
Excuses,
You got to admit, though, he did pretty well with that friggin' crap-ass Lakers team this year. He took them pretty far. They should not have even made it to the playoffs. They were so bad.
Like, what's the difference between them and the bubble Lakers? Like they had a healthy Anthony Davis. LeBron was supposedly healthy. They got Austin Reeves now.
Ooh. Oh, he's nice, bro.
I know he's nice.
He's so nice.
I know
he might be their third best player.
He's still good. Like he was like averaging 18 points a game.
Yeah, he's so nice.
It's pretty good. He's good in the fourth too.
I know. He shows up, man. He shows up. I'm not trying to hate.
He's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't turn into the next Alex Caruso.
No. He ain't that. This dude's getting paid, bro.
He's getting what did he get? Like 25 million a year or something like that?
It's not bad.
Not bad for a dude who was like, I'm not getting drafted. I'm just gonna join a team. Prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say we switch up the sports here? Talk a little football.
We got next on the docket.
Let's do it.
All right. What do we think about the Pats not signing DeAndre Hopkins?
I think it's a sign that we're in the final years of Bill Belichick calling the shots on who we're bringing into our organization. I think there's a lot. I think it leads to a lot riding this season for him. But yeah, I think it was a mistake.
What do you got, Sherry?
That was a pretty big letdown. Pretty big swift kick to the dick. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I think we're gonna be all right. We're gonna fucking find somebody else, whether it's a bum ass Kenny Golladay. He's still only 29. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I think we might fucking actually get Dalvin Cook just to keep him away from Miami. Because Miami already offered him a contract. I think we can fucking snag him, hopefully. And
yeah. It's a quick kick in the dick. You're right on that.
Yeah, a lot of people are down on us right now, but
they should be.
I mean, good for D-Hop for taking the bigger contract, signing with Joe and I's other, favorite team over there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I think for Ryan Tannehill, he needs that. With AJ Brown going and, you just got a bunch of supporting cast, kind of like the Patriots almost, but they have a better running game, and a little bit better of a quarterback.
Oh, you're saying the Titans?
Yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Patriots. So, I mean, D-Hop picking, essentially the better quarterback. I get it,
Yeah. I think D-Hop is going to make his money and chill. I think his career, mark my words, unless Ryan Tannehill decides to have, the career of his life, Mike Vrabel decides to change how he allows his offense to be run by his OCs. I think D-Hop's career is done, and he's probably gonna have the worst season of his career this season. Book it.
Hot take.
Tennessee, this is where we don't know how to use receivers down here.
No way, bro. AJ Brown was
AJ Brown.
Nice.
We didn't know how to use him though.
I still think
deep ball.
But we didn't know how to use him in Tennessee. That's the problem. This team does not know how to use good receivers. AJ Brown, the year before he left to go over to Philly, we didn't value him here. And he was making some highlight plays, but he wasn't every time getting the ball to him. They don't know how to utilize good receivers properly. That's why he looks like such an incredible stud now over in Philly, because he's actually being utilized properly. It's just Julio Jones. We blew that one too down here.
Julio Jones blew Julio Jones.
Nope.
Yeah, he might have been done.
I'm telling you, this is where receivers come to kill their careers.
I still think he's gonna have 70 catches and 1,000 yards. I don't think he's gonna be a top 5 wide receiver at all, but I think he's gonna be good. I think his hands are too good. You throw the ball anywhere near him and he's catching it. Between his legs, left-handed, fucking anyway, he'll catch it with his butt crack. That man catches balls.
I think he's gonna feast in the intermediate game. He's gonna feast.
Nope. Because we have our heads up our asses down here, so focused on Derrick Henry.
Dude.
That's all we care about.
He's aging, man.
I understand that. I understand that completely.
I don't know if he's going to be as good.
The team has the head up their ass about it.
How do you feel about Derrick Henry, McLovin? You think he's going to be as good?
I think he'll slow down, of course, but I think he'll just turn into a bigger Jerome Bennett. Just a beast of a dude running 10 yards down the field and getting tackled.
Does Tennessee even have a decent backup running back?
I mean, they should. They ran him as a 2-down back for years. I mean, he got hurt last year, but they saved him. They had a 3rd-down back. They got Dion Lewis. They had another guy before Dion Lewis and after Dion.
They had Foreman, but they traded him.
Yeah, they
to
had
Carolina. And he started killing in Carolina.
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy team. That sucked. I dropped him before they started running him when Chuba got hurt.
Chuba.
I like Chuba Hubba.
I can't with you.
No, but all right, back to the Patriots and Hopkins though. To me, it just blows my fucking mind because you gave Nelson Aguilar $16 million a year. $16 million a year for Nelson Aguilar. He has never had a season that came close to DeAndre Hopkins. Does not have that kind of physical ability. And you're like, fucking spend it. But then when it comes to getting Hopkins, who even in his worst day is still going to give you twice the production that Nelson Aguilar ever gave you, you're like, all this guaranteed money, I'll give you 10, 12. What the fuck what are we doing here? Are we trying to win? Are we trying to salvage our third-year quarterback after a shitty year that he had last year and getting rid of his number one wide receiver? We had games last season where they would show the replay and every wide receiver had just a defender attached to them. It didn't matter how much time Mac Jones had. Didn't matter anything. Just a receiver was attached to him. And he had nowhere to throw but like throw it away or try to throw, like squeeze it into a 2-inch window. That's not how you deal with your third-year quarterback. You want to know how good he's going to be. You want to get him a good first and second string wide receiver. It doesn't make any sense. They are setting him up to fail. And I don't think he's that good, but they're setting him up to fail.
I don't know.
That's why I say
I got a different take.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I got a different take.
I don't know.
It's okay. All right. So it's super disappointing, right, that we lost Jacoby Myers, right? We can all agree with that. That was Mac Jones' number one target. It was our best wide receiver, and you essentially replaced him, same contract with Juju, which I think Juju's a good signing, but it would have been a better pairing if you just friggin' kept Jacoby Myers. We would have had a more lethal offense at that point, because now Devontae, he becomes, a decent number two. Devontae Parker, he's pretty good, but, he can't be a number one. He's not, and I like our two tight end set that we're going to run. We're going to run a lot of that with the signing of Gesicki and, an actual legitimate tight end now. I mean, I liked Jonnu Smith, but when he was with Tennessee, but he just did not get it with New England. He did not understand it. I don't know why or how, but
it's such a bad signing.
No, it was a good signing at the time because he was a really good player with Tennessee. I mean, it just didn't make sense to why he just ended up so bad with us.
They had to scheme on the ball.
I think it speaks volumes to Josh McDaniels' value to this organization that we talked shit about when things went wrong, but he left and look how different our offense was after the fact.
For sure. For sure.
Well,
that's why Bill O'Brien is our best offensive addition this year, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I love the idea of bringing Bill O'Brien back. Like, I'm happy with that.
He's gonna elevate us.
I wish Belichick could put his pride aside and admit that he needed Josh McDaniels.
Nah, he'll never say that.
Right. I think Josh McDaniels was like one of the highest paid coordinators in the league.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And he deserved it.
He deserved it. Bill Belichick is just
to some degree, like Josh McDaniels was like the great and powerful Oz. He was the man behind the curtain. When it came to like our offense being effective, like I know like we know he's the OC, but like everybody gives Belichick the credit at the end of the day. Like nobody gave McDaniels the credit when like our offense was popping. But we criticized him the moment a play went wrong. We didn't like this play call. He cost us the game. Oh, Josh McDaniels is an idiot.
Nah, not even. It gets blamed on Mac Jones.
The play call,
most of the blame.
He should get some of the blame.
He should, absolutely. But
I mean, this past season was a mess offensively, and we're going to be a much better football team. Well, especially I mean, don't get me wrong, Joe Judge trying to be the quarterback coach. with Mac Jones was a nightmare too. But him going back to special teams, I think that's going to improve us, tenfold, because our special teams was a mess last year. We were garbage. Giving up kick returns. You know how many kick returns for touchdowns we gave up? It was ridiculous.
Our whole team was garbage. Our whole team still is garbage. Like I said.
No, bro, we're going to be so much better.
Who's our second best player?
I told you. I already told you. Kyle Duggar. Or hear me out. You're not gonna be like, what? Josh Uche, bro.
He's gonna lead. Fucking mind.
He's gonna lead our team in sacks this year.
You're out of your mind.
Book it.
You're out of your mind.
Josh Uche is gonna lead us in sacks.
Yes, not Judon. It's gonna be Uche.
Judon's an animal. Judon's an animal.
He is, but he's getting older. You know what I mean?
Judon's our best player.
But Uche or Kyle Duggar.
Did you hear that Mac Jones has a?
Oh no! You know what? David Andrews. I'm sorry, might be our best player. Yeah, he might be our best player. Yep.
We're fucked. We're fucked. It's just like saying that our best player is Matthew Slater, the gunner.
I don't know about that. I think you should just leave the analogies to me going forward, coming up with these crazy comparisons, sir.
Okay, that's a great comparison. They're both not changing the game. He can snap the ball.
I don't know if I agree. I respectfully disagree, my friend. We're good.
Dude, center's super important.
Yeah, but not the best position.
Skill-wise, no, but don't underestimate the offensive line, man.
I don't. I underestimate the whole fucking team. Right, got faith?
Telling you, 10 wins this year.
I feel like I'm a Patriots fan in the 90s. Now I see why all
10 wins with a quarterback that has a 76 overall rating in Madden.
All right, so you want to talk about the top 10 of the ratings?
Into the ratings?
I mean, he's not even in the top 10. He's
not. He's 74, right?
74, yeah.
You know what? I think that's not bad, considering how Madden rated the top 10. Let's hear the top 10.
Let's quickly go through the top 10 here.
There's number one, big difference.
Number one, we have Patrick Mahomes, obviously, at a 99.
Yeah.
Number two, Joe Burrow at 95. 3, Josh Allen at 94. 4, Lamar Jackson at 91. 5, Jalen Hurts at 88. Dak Prescott at 6 at 87. Justin Herbert at 87 at number 7. Number 8 is Aaron Rodgers at 86. Number 9 is Kirk Cousins at 84. And number 10 is Tua at 83.
Justin Herbert, 87, you said?
Yeah.
He should be at least 90 minimum.
He's
good, man.
I think he's better than Dak, but a 90?
Yeah, man. You don't think he's
he's
that guy?
I think he's good. I just haven't seen him do what like Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, any of those guys have done.
Okay, so you notice the drop off between Mahomes and Burrow just from 1 and 2?
Yeah, but
that's a big difference, man.
There's only 5 people in the game with Mahomes' rating, and it's only because
for now,
the season
right?
he just had. Yeah.
They're not done coming out with them?
No, there's only 5 in the game.
For now.
Okay.
Okay, no, I see what you're saying, like to start the season, but once the season goes on, they do announce like other players getting into the 99 club.
Yeah, I don't see anybody making that kind of jump.
It's not the same.
No.
I don't know. Joe Burrow is so fucking good. He's so good.
So
I think you can make it.
So I'm looking at the list, and here's my issue. I see Tua number 10. I'll give him that. Like he just made the top 10 at an 83 overall. But if you go into like the next two players, I would argue that based on last season's performance, they played better. And the next two is Trevor Lawrence at number 11 with an 82 rating, and then Geno Smith at number 12 with an 81.
That's super low.
I would argue that Geno deserves to be higher than Tua. I think Tua is getting too much credit because of like the amount of injuries he had and how Miami just said, we don't care about your health. Like, get out there. If you die on the field, like, whatever. We'll just put a concussion counter up on the wall. And as long as you don't hit zero, like, keep going.
He was a fat kid from Not Another
Team movie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just feel like Tua is getting a little bit too high of a rating if you're going to have that continue to scale to drop that far.
I guess, yeah, you're right. He missed, how many games he missed? Like 6 or 7?
It's a good amount.
And of the games that he played, how many does he remember?
For multiple concussions, too.
As long as we remember, then we're good.
Right. But I just feel like there's putting too much weight on what he did and not taking into account the fact that, like, yeah, he wasn't there for like a third of the season.
I guess, like, are the Madden ratings like what they're expected to be next season?
It's based
off this upcoming season.
Yeah, so on this upcoming season, it's like we're expectations of that player, right?
Yeah, but it also factors in last year's performance.
I think the expectations might be that he's not going to get his head knocked off every other game.
It's just wild to me that the 10th best quarterback is an 83.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's super low.
Feels like it should be in like the 20s, like the bottom 20 to 32 teams would have a quarterback in the 83, 82 range.
Right. I mean, you mean to tell me, like you said, Joe, Trevor Lawrence being an 82 and he was on a playoff team last year.
I'm okay with him being 82.
I'm not.
I'm okay with that.
Minimum 85.
But I feel like you're putting too much feelings in like the rankings. Because if you look at it, like,
what you mean?
If you look at the league right now, there is a distinct difference between Mahomes, Burrows, Lamar. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big gap between like the talent in the top 5. So you look at Jalen, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Mahomes. There is a big difference when you go to the next person, being Josh Herbert. He's only 1 point difference in overall. It goes from an 88 with Jalen Hurts to an 87 with Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott. There's a big gap in performance between those players. If you really look at it. Like, that drop off is understood. It's pretty easy to explain.
I don't know. I think
like you go 99, 95, 94, 91, and then you go to 88. Like, I understand that decline in score.
Jalen Hurts should be in the 90s. No. Dak I don't think he has any business being in the top 6. I think Daniel Jones. So? No. I think Daniel Jones is going to make a huge leap this year. I think his rating is way too low. He's probably going to be in the 80s by the end of the season. Like, the Giants will be, they'll be a 10-7 team. But I think he'll do a lot better than he did the previous 2 years.
Where did you say Daniel Jones is going to end up?
In like the mid 80s, high 80s.
So you think he's going to go from out of the top 20 to the top 10?
I'm saying Daniel Jones is, if not the top 10, top 13 quarterbacks in the league. Last year, this man threw 3,200 yards. He had 16 touchdowns and only 5 picks. Not to mention what he did on the ground. Okay. Give him another year away from Joe Judge. and he is going to be a top 13 quarterback in the mid 80s. Please.
What did he do on the ground last year?
Let me find it. He did pretty good on the ground, I think.
Let me find it. What is
16 passing touchdowns is not enough for me. I love the 5 interceptions, though. That's awesome. How many fumbles did he have, too? I'd love to know that because he was a big fumbler.
How are we going to come in with the let me find it? How you going to make a bold claim and not even have the details to back it up, my friend? What kind of nonsense is that?
I have the basic bit, okay?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
The basic stuff.
Got come prepared.
Okay, this man had 120 rushing attempts last year for 708 yards with 7 rushing touchdowns.
Okay. So in total, he had, 21 touchdowns?
What you tell me is he has a trash line that didn't want to block, so he had to run and try to score touchdowns?
Yeah, so they used him in like a Josh Allen type way.
That is so disrespectful to Josh Allen.
Why?
Because Josh Allen
he's
creates
right,
on his own.
So did he.
No.
Steve's right,
not as good.
No. So
think about it.
Put some respect on that boy's name.
It's the same offensive coordinator from Buffalo that's the head coach now there. So it makes sense.
No.
All the read options that they do there.
No.
Yeah. He had twice as many rushing attempts as he's ever had, with over 2 times the amount of rushing yards.
Right.
Last year was his 4th year. He had career highs and everything.
Can you tell me where he was born as well? What his parents did?
Why you can look at his Wikipedia page. 67% completion percentage. Not bad.
So
wait,
bottom
57?
67.
Oh, 67. Okay. That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So bottom line, you two crazies think that he's going to go from out of the top 20 into the top 10.
I didn't say top 10.
I'm not saying that. I just think he's pretty underrated.
I said mid 80s, which would bring around 13.
Mid 80s? Mid 80s? Because number 10 is an 82. So mid 80s would be like 83 to 87. That's a decent range.
Then yeah, dude.
Which puts you almost into that puts you like number 7.
Then yeah,
mid 80s right now. Because mid 80s is Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott, 87.
I see him ahead of
my
Jared Goff, Gino, probably Trevor Lawrence.
So
Gino underrated, man. He led the league in completion percentage last year.
Right, exactly. Put some respect on his name.
Look who he's got.
Dude, he came into a season where he was just there to fill a hole because they just lost Russ. And was like, well, I could just get my paycheck and just show up. Or I could show them nah, y'all really need to pay me and put some respect on my name. And he did that. He willed that team to more victories than he willed that team into way more victories than they deserve to have.
I guess. I think if they had a running back, like a true running back, they would be good. Or if their running back stayed healthy, they'd be really.
Whoa. Time out. You don't think Kenneth Walker is going to be that guy?
He might, but he's got to stay healthy.
He does, but he's only a rookie. I mean, he's nice, bro.
He is nice. But they got him. They got Tyler Lockett. They got DK Metcalf. Like, that team is stacked on offensive playmakers.
True.
You know, look what Russ was doing, and then look at him last year. You know?
That's a whole other conversation.
I think they're going to be a really good team.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, with them sexy-ass jerseys they got, the throwbacks, hell yeah.
Oh, bro, did you see the Browns uniforms?
Browns are
They got the white helmet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's sick.
I'm still processing the Colts doing a black helmet for the first time. That's wild to me. I love it. Dude, I love the look of it, but
those jerseys are sick.
I like this. I like them mixing it up. Have fun with it.
Me too.
That's what happens when you get Nike involved. That's what happens when you get Nike involved.
Right? Do you remember? You ever see all the concept art jerseys that people would make. They're always sick. You know, when Nike and Under Armour were doing the college football uniforms, they were unreal.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give Nike credit for when it comes to like being in control of all these uniforms now. I mean, look, Nike's got what? MLB, NFL, and the NBA.
Do they have the MLB?
They do. They've had the MLB for like 2-3 years now. Majestic's not over them now either.
I don't like that. Somebody else has got to step up and be cool.
I mean, I'm surprised that Adidas slipped in with the NHL. I thought Reebok was going to keep that forever.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
But that's why you don't see much change in the uniforms that are happening in the NHL. Like, they got to find ways to try to keep it like fresh and exciting. But I think if you start changing like one uniform a year in the NHL, like people are gonna get more excited about it. The Bruins try to do it, but the thing is, they focus so much on the original six that like a lot of teams just don't even get like the appreciation that they deserve when it comes to uniforms. If you're not part of the original six, like you're not getting like those like throwback dope like winter classics.
The sweaters.
Oh, I don't know, man. The Anaheim Ducks, man. I mean, come on, the mighty
Everyone
Duck
loves
logo.
the Ducks,
right? But they're not using
those fire.
Right.
We didn't have a Duck starter jacket.
The San Jose Sharks got cool logo.
How much of their uniforms changed? Anaheim, when they went away from the Mighty Ducks, when they stopped being the Mighty Ducks and they rebranded completely after like the craze of the Mighty Ducks franchise, like movie franchise, when they matched that it was great. But once they changed from that, like they just became the Anaheim Ducks, and it is what it is.
Wasn't cool.
Like,
but now they wear the throwbacks.
Sometimes.
I think I could be wrong. I don't know anything about hockey.
I mean, I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them wear the throwbacks, if at all. I think
honestly, it holds. Besides the NBA, baseball, football, and hockey, it holds them back by just thinking that they need to be so traditional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got to think outside the box.
I mean, look at baseball. They start like there was always a few things they always did, like a few gimmicky things, like 4th of July stuff where the uniforms change, like the red, white, and blue flag and the like logo and stuff that they've done in the past. Nike comes in and switches things up, and now the MLB looked at everything and was like, "Hey, like we need to change things." I mean, you talk about the pitch clock. I mean, what in the first like month of it being implemented, like they'd already cut the game times down by a half hour.
Yeah,
which is huge,
right? I mean, they said we need to get our viewers back because there used to be a time where that was what was on TV. Like when I was a kid growing up, I would go home like that was like 4 o'clock, like coming home from like school as a kid, go to my grandparents' house, sit there with my grandpa, and watch the Red Sox game.
Yeah,
right. Because there wasn't anything really. Yeah, there wasn't much. Well, it'd be like from like 4 o'clock to like 7. Then Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
As cool as that is that they did this year, there's a lot of things that I don't like that they did. Like the no shift. You should be able to line up anywhere on the field. You should be able to line up anywhere on the field that you want. Shouldn't matter. It's not the field's fault that the hitter sucks and can't pull the ball or, go opposite field. You know what I mean? That's stupid. And two, the automatic runner on second. That's stupid too. When it goes into extra innings, yeah, that's stupid. That's so gimmicky. Like, all right, we're gonna speed this up here. Like, I get it. You don't want games going, 18 innings like it has before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like it was becoming a problem.
But you got to think too, though. They're only implementing that for the 162 regular season games. That goes out the window in the playoffs. Right, but
it's stupid.
It speeds it up. It keeps things going, especially through the season. I mean, how many times do you want your players to be out there playing 11, 12, 13, 14 inning games over the course of 8 months? I don't want that out of my guys. I don't want my guys playing 11, 12 innings on an 8 o'clock game just to come back and have to do the same thing tomorrow, or even worse, have to do it at 3 p.m. tomorrow because it's a Saturday or a Sunday.
Well,
I'm okay with that in the playoffs when a World Series is ultimately like the end goal and like that's what's on the line. But 162 games, like we can sacrifice one or two that we gave up because of a runner on second to start the 10th inning.
I will say, as your local neighborhood gambling degenerate, like I am, I have been betting on baseball this year. I suck at it. But one thing that I can tell you is teams are hitting, they're scoring a lot more runs than they were before. Like a lot more. Over-unders are crazy high right now for baseball. And so I would see it both ways. Like, let's do the pitch clock because and maybe the the no shift because it's leading to a lot more runs. Let's start with that and then see if that fixes the overtime problem. And then if that persists, then put the runner on second,
They looked at that for years though, and that's what led to the runner on second.
But they haven't tried the other two things at the same time.
It's a lot harder to implement the pitch clock. There's a lot of trial behind that. They thought they could just implement the runner at second and speed up like the extra innings process, but now we have to worry about also how do we speed up the rest of the game. And I
have a solution.
The pitch clock implementation in itself, though, like you talk about guys like scoring more, like hitting more home runs, things like that. Part of that has to comes down to the pitcher doesn't get to play mental games with you sitting on the mound, stepping off, sitting on the mound, stepping off. The batter doesn't get to step out of the batter's box because they just like trying to mess with people. Like there's a lot less like mental fatigue. Like let alone like the physical, like not even like just the physical aspect, like the mental fatigue of like having that like duel with a pitcher for so long. Like you speed that shit up, you're good to go.
They're pussies.
I have a solution.
It's a better product now. I'll watch an MLB game. What's your solution?
Shorten the season.
I agree. I think
162 games is way too long.
Yeah. So now, given the fact that it's like the tradition, like baseball, like it's expected to have a longer season, I'm fine with like 100 games, 102.
130.
Realistically. Cut 30 games out. I can see that.
Yeah.
128.
That way you spread the game. Yeah. You spread the games out. You know what I mean? That way guys aren't playing 10 games in 14 days.
Yeah.
Or it's probably even shorter than that.
Big thing is the revenue though. They're pulling in so much fucking money. So much money.
Right.
It's the reason why they can pay the players so much money.
Yeah, but I think by shortening the season too, though, like you have a real opportunity to build your audience better. Now I understand like on face value it doesn't sound like it because you're like, well, there's less games. How is it going to be a bigger audience? Well, number one, it becomes more more critical, more crucial to see those games because there's a lot fewer of them.
But more meaningful games.
Yeah, but also it gives you opportunity to have later games as like more later like evening games instead of these 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. start times where you're losing a lot of your audience. Like you're trying to build a youth audience, but you have games on a Tuesday at 3:00. What youth is able to watch baseball on Tuesday at 3:00 in April, May, June?
Or how about even 9 p.m.?
Part of that though, when you get to the 9 p.m. so you also got to look at the coastal differences because
but now you're staying up till 11, 12 o'clock on a school night trying to watch those games.
I understand that, but at the same time, you're only really seeing those games. Well, you're only really seeing those games when you have either like on a major network game like ESPN or something, or maybe TBS, TNT. But outside of that, it's only happening really when you have a West Coast team playing like on the East Coast where it's affecting you guys, like where it's affecting us really. But it goes back to it. Like if you have an earlier game against, say, the LA Dodgers, you got Red Sox Dodgers in Fenway, right? Normally that's going to be 7, 8 o'clock game start time. So what time would you propose? Like how far early would you propose pushing it?
You said 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 usually start.
7 like 7:05, 7:09, because baseball does that.
6:30.
Okay, so 6:30. So you mean kids are gonna have to rush home from school? They get out at 2:45, 3:00 in California, and they got to hope that they get home through LA traffic by 3:30.
Hopefully they don't drive too fast.
Elementary school kids are getting out of school at 3:00, 3:30.
You can
Most
say
of
the
them going
same
into
thing,
after
though,
school.
for the East Coast teams having to go to the West Coast when those games start at 10:30. You know what I mean? You can say the same thing. It's like, I can't stay up for that.
It's a lot more justifiable when you're looking at it to have a later start time than an earlier start time.
Yeah, but the West Coast teams when they're playing the East Coast, their start times are 4.
For them, which
yeah.
is 7 for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, so I'm saying you can't really push it back. You can't push it any earlier because now you're literally interfering with like school and people's jobs.
True, John.
Start the game at 3:30. I work till 4 or 5 o'clock. I can't watch the game. So I'm tuning in the 5th, 6th inning? Like, why do I care now? On a Tuesday, I get home, I got way more important stuff to worry about at that point.
That's when it's just getting good, baby. Baseball, it's a slow burn.
So when you come home from work, how much time do you have? Like, how quickly can you get into like your evening routine? Or do you have to like address your kids and your family, get ready, try to figure out what the plan is for dinner, figure out what the missus has got going on? She has to go to work and things like that.
Yeah, I gotta do all that. What you mean?
Right. So by the time you're tuning in the 9th inning.
Madly. That's why
baseball
they got DVR.
In John's household. His wife
baseball.
She understands that he can't help out with the kid because the Sox are on.
Yep. My lady knows that I love the Sox. She just looked at me weird. She just entered the room. Yeah.
Close set. Close set.
One thing that's ruining them is the I don't want to say the analytic guys, but like they're doing this thing where like they're letting their pitchers, they'll pitch like 3 innings, and then like the moment their pitcher gives up a run, they'll put in a relief pitcher and then run like 2 or 3 relief pitchers until the end of the game. I want to see those good old fashioned pitching duels.
They don't have them anymore because they pull those pitches at like the 4th, 5th inning.
That's what I'm saying.
Then they throw all these relievers out there. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, Joe Schmo gets the win.
Load management.
I mean? No, they changed the rules now. So if you are a starting pitcher and you leave the game with the lead, and your relief pitcher blows the win, then you still get the win.
What? That doesn't make sense. How do you get the win if you lose the game?
Dude, they did it to appease the pitchers.
I promise you, when this video gets posted, people are going to be in the comments telling you you're so wrong.
Am I wrong? I gotta fucking fact check myself.
I can just like see comments coming in like, is this guy an idiot? Why are they talking baseball? Stick to sports. Stick to football, man. Stick to what you know.
All right, boys. I want to do something totally off topic here. I want to hear both of you guys' top 5 favorite comedy movies right off the top of the dome. Let's go. Joe.
All time?
All time. Top 5 favorite comedy movies.
Man, I don't even know where to start. I would say Coming to America.
Wow.
In no particular order. I'm not gonna try to rate them. Coming to America, The Hangover.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It holds a special place in my heart, for real.
I wouldn't even thought of that one.
No. Man. I gotta get something like a little bit more recent too, like in the last 10 years or so. Get Hard, classic. Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart. I think they make an incredible duo.
Okay.
I'm at 3. Shit, I might have to cut it off there because racking my brain, I could lose my black card in the process.
Stop. I said top 5. Let's go. Come on now. Give me two more. Two more.
Coming to Hangover. Get Hard. Ooh, super bad. And I'm gonna throw one of my all-time favorite movies, Barbershop.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. That's
top
a
to
good
bottom,
top five.
start to finish, that movie is pristine.
That's a good solid day of laughter right there.
Yeah.
All right, McLovin. Steve, what you got for me, bro?
Steve, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously there's super bad. Tropic Thunder.
That's in mine too.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I laughed at a I want like the belly laugh, you know?
I'm waiting for one of y'all fuckers to say the movie. I'm gonna just stay quiet until y'all do.
Yeah, you better.
I'd say Talladega Nights would be one.
Yo, that's a sleeper. That's definitely like an alternate for me. I'll take that as an alternate. Honorable mention.
You hit me right on the spot. I had no idea this was coming.
Gotta love it.
Can I pass for now?
No.
Let me think of the last two, you know?
Come on now.
Can I use Big Daddy? Can I use that one? That's one of my favorites.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
And I'll go with an older one. The Naked Gun movies.
Oh, the first one?
First one, yeah.
Okay.
All right, John. Let's hear yours.
Not bad. All right. So, I mean, come on now. Come on. Super bad. Come on. And that's a rite of passage movie.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it came out when we were in high school. It has a special place in our hearts.
Absolutely.
For sure. Tropic Thunder, like you said, I mean, that movie is so slept on. That has to be one of the funniest fucking movies I have ever fucking seen in my life. I love it. It's so good. Damn, Waterboy. Fucking loved Waterboy.
Waterboy's great.
Yep. You know, Bobby Boucher, baby. With his needle dick, killing it.
That's 3.
Yep. Spaceballs. I'm gonna throw in Spaceballs in there. Yep. Wild style movie, all right.
With a comb in the desert.
Yeah.
With the big fucking comb.
With the big comb.
All right, what's number 5?
Number 5. All right, number 5. Let me think about this one. You know, I don't want to go, too traditional. All right, so
nothing about your list is too traditional, sir.
Yeah. Ooh, number 5. I think. Damn, number 5. That's wild. I think I'd have to go with fucking. Maybe Pineapple Express, bro.
That's a good one.
Pineapple Express is solid. I gotta say, I'm very surprised in both of you guys in some of your answers. There's one movie I anticipated being on both of y'all's list that wasn't. I'm surprised.
What movie is that?
What was it?
Step Brothers.
No, not a fan.
I like Step Brothers, but it's definitely not my top 5.
Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's probably one of Will Ferrell's worst movies ever made.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
The only thing that's funny is like the Catalina wine mixer, and after that, like I just don't give a fuck. And that's not till like 2/3 of the way through the movie anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those like I could see why some people think it's obnoxious.
Hang on now.
What?
40-Year-Old Virgin. That's my 5th one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's a funny ass movie.
That is
a good movie. It's a funny movie.
Come on.
I don't think
top 5 of all time.
Yeah. It's a big that's a big ask of that movie. I love Steve Carell.
I think if I'm being honest, Pineapple Express.
Oh, if I'm being honest, I think you're putting a lot of Michael Scott into your analysis of 40-Year-Old Virgin. I really do. I think your love and adoration for The Office is skewing your heart and feeling into Steve Carell. And yeah, I feel like you're kind of pushing 40-Year-Old Virgin further than it can go.
I have a hot take. I think Dinner for Schmucks is probably better than the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Wow, that is a hot take.
I'll say it definitively. Ooh, Dinner for Schmucks is better than the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Bro, no, come on.
Dude, no, that's possible.
Have you seen Dinner for Schmucks?
Yes, and it was a rough watch. It's funny, but it's like, I don't know. All these like high society guys bring this this special person to this dinner.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking, like
you have the blind guy that's the fencer.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that's a good one too.
Oh yeah. I might add that to my top 5. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I Love You, Man.
Yeah. We're going off here.
I Love You, Man.
Damn. Slap at the bass. We gotta stop.
Slap at the bass, man.
All right, fellas. So it's about time we wrap this one up. I think first episode in the bag. I think we got a lot of shit to work out, but I think we're heading in the right direction. What y'all think?
I think we're on the track.
John,
I feel like I'm already getting a call for endorsements.
There we go.
My phone is blowing up.
Nike's calling. They're on the other line.
Yep, my phone is blowing up.
They heard us talking.
It's happening, brothers.
They heard us talking. I'm actually about to hop off and start designing my first shoe for my deal.
The Woogities is real.
So until next time,
movement, fellas, baby.
We out of here. Woogity boys
it's a movement,
out,
baby.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.